I wanted to introduce my Uncle Johnny Cruz, who was also a victim in this horrific crime. He has been informed or instructed not to speak because we have yet to go to court with the alleged shooter. So therefore, he cannot say anything. I just wanted everyone to see him. This gentleman was shot, disabled for life, and is still going through surgeries and is still not the same. We have another victim that's had 20 surgeries, Alex Cruz. My son Jacob was also shot that evening. John Montoya was also shot that evening. They are not here right now. It's very difficult for them to stand in this premises as it is for myself. But me as a mother, with my family, of course, we must do and we must stand up for them because they have no voice. They have no voice. We are their voice. We just want justice. We just want justice. We didn't even ask the alleged shooter to get the death penalty. We want him to go for life. Killing him is not going to bring our sons back. We're not those kind of people. We want everyone to know, the district attorney to know, that we are not those kind of people. We are not God. We can't ask for someone to die when we're crying here because ours went home. I wanted to talk about the getaway drivers. Lisa Marin was a getaway driver for the car. She was on probation that evening. A few months prior to the incident, she was also on Fort Bend County's 10 most wanted list. How she did not revoke her probation is beyond belief. And we asked, I've written to the state of Texas Probation and Provisions Department. I've written to the probation department in Fort Bend County. They refused to revoke her. In my opinion, they want her to be quiet. They don't want her to tell her story. The driver of the truck who fled with the shooter to Brownsville, Texas, who continued shooting as he was in the bed of her truck, continued shooting as she was driving, fled, was captured, brought back, never once to be charged with any crime. There's a reason here. We don't know the reason. We know that Jesus is going to bring the reason out one day. We're going to patiently wait. And for the most part, we're not going to go away. I will never, ever go away. This was my son. This was my family. It was not right what they did. This is a horrible case of injustice. And I just pray that the district attorney, John Healy, the assistant district attorney, Christopher Delosier, know that what they did, what they chose to do was wrong. And us as a family, or we as a family, will not sit back and take this. We refuse to allow this. We refuse to sit back and accept it. I believe that race and relationship are both an issue in our what word do I use? In our case. We've come to find out after making many phone calls and writing many, many letters that their attorney that had them turn themselves in, his name is Don Hecker. Don Hecker, from what I believe, is good friends with Christopher Delosier and John Healy. Don Hecker has an assistant who happens to be the stepmother of the alleged shooter. I believe there's a connection there. I don't know what it is. I can only speculate. My speculation is they did make a deal. There was money passed. Either that or somebody has something very wicked on this district attorney where he refuses to do the right thing. I feel bullied by him. I felt ridiculed by him. And it didn't matter. Do I think race is an issue? Sure. Who cares about 6 Mexicans getting shot in a bar? I know he doesn't. He refuses to do anything about it. He said he's not here for us. He's here for society. At what point did he decide that we were not part of society? Oscar and I have been married for over 30 years, paid our taxes, had 3 sons, all went to the military. At what point, sir, did we not become a part of society? I would like for you to answer that. I wanted to say something about my son. My son was a wonderful, wonderful person. He was 28 years old. He worked for the Methodist downtown. He was in the Air Force. He was going to be a father. His fiancée was 7.5 months pregnant. He actually was able to name his daughter before he passed. Her name is Sofia Isabella Mejorado. Where's the picture? Her name is Sofia Isabella Mejorado, who by the grace of God, looking at Sofia, I see his smile. And that is a gift that we have. Sofia Isabella Mejorado, at the age of 7 weeks old, suffered a major heart attack, and we almost lost her. By the grace of God, we were here in Houston. We went to Texas Children's Hospital. Can't even begin to say enough about that hospital. But she was saved, and she's with us. My son Oscar was full of love. He actually passed because the shooter was aiming at my other son, Jacob, his brother. And he threw himself in front of his brother. And that took his life. I feel so bad for Jacob because he feels guilty. But we're a close family. We're a very close family. Everything we did together as a family. No one else is important. Nobody else matters. Just us. And they took a piece of my heart and my soul when I buried my son. And I know that he knows it will never stop. I'll never give up for him. Never. He was my baby. And I loved him. And I thank God that the last words that I said was, Mijo, be careful. Be careful. I love you. I have no regrets. God granted me and gave me this gift for 28 years. And I cherished it. And I look forward to seeing him one day. And I will. Francisco was always at my house. He was like a son to me. He called me Mom. He, of course, was with us the night that we were celebrating my husband's birthday party. 50th birthday. I loved him very, very much. It's crazy that at the cemetery they are buried very, very close together. They went together. They looked at one another as I looked at both of them, and they were brothers. And we miss them very much. It's a tragedy what happened. But I can't begin to express how I feel. That's more tragic is the injustice that we're facing now. The injustice that we're facing now is horrible.